afternoon. My name is Sari Canales, and I'm the Executive Director for the Monrovia Chamber. We are joined this afternoon with David and Sandra Kaiser of Neuromap Institute.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. If you could introduce yourselves and share a little bit about your business, that would be great.
Of course. I am a clinical psychologist, and David is a neuroscientist. And our business is about brain mapping and neurofeedback. So you can explain.
Yeah, so I've been doing this brain mapping for 30 years. I came out of UCLA. That's where I got my PhD. And years ago, they found out that you could train the brain, certain brain rhythms to act as an anticonvulsant. They figured that out in the 60s. And then over time, we figured out how to improve brain functioning through operant conditioning. Operant conditioning is how you train a dog. You give it a treat after it does some action. We give the brain treats after they do the actions we want we use videos as our rewards. And we can train the brain to help relieve and resolve problems from PTSD and anxiety, autistic behaviors, suicidality, all kinds of issues. And we can see in the brain, when we do a brain map, if someone has this suicidal ideation or social anxiety. There's these brain regions that are like the final areas where if you have problems in those areas, you're likely to have generalized anxiety or depression or motivation or sleep onset issues or sleep maintenance issues. And we can detect what's going on in each individual. And we create after we brain maps an individual using EEG brainwaves, we'll come up with a protocol, a treatment plans to help through operant conditioning to train those brain waves into healthier patterns, and thus relieve in those healthy patterns result in them relieving the symptoms of whatever the conditions that they're having. So we're working with insomnia the other day and depression, suicidality. I do a lot of, I train people around the country. I have a lot of kids dealing with violence and antisocial behavior, and you can help normalize brain behavior with this technique. And the technique itself, general technique's been around for 50 years. The specifics we've been working with for the last 10 years.
Okay. And now the brain map, is that done in one session, or do you?
Yeah, just 1 hour. It takes an hour total. We put a cap on you. It's an electrode cap it has 19 electrode ports, or 20 for a ground, and you literally get plugged into like 20 guitar amps. It's a little amplifier that will amplify the electrical signals that you're generating right now, or anyone's generating, and it's doing a very relaxed condition. We do what's called eyes closed and eyes open resting baselines. So they close their eyes, just let their mind wander, and then we open the eyes and they look at a painting, appreciate this picture we have, and then we go back and forth, usually around 3 times. That way we're sure what we have is a reliable signatures from the person, reliable EEG signatures, and it's done in very relaxed conditions. And in essence, it's like if you turn your car on and you checked how the engine worked during idling, we're doing like the idling of the brain, and from there we can see the habits the brain has.
It doesn't hurt.
It's not invasive.
It's a very relaxing procedure.
And the feedback itself is like hilarious in that it's so relaxing. You literally just watch videos, and the video quality is going to be controlled by these brain rhythms, and whenever you give it the rhythms we want, you get 100% quality, meaning the volume's max and the screen size is max. And whenever you're giving the rhythms we don't want, the volume will drop, and so you won't hear as well, and the screen will drop. And the brain system, I like to call it your pre-conscious. Your volitional system doesn't control this. It's below the volitional. It's like the blood flow supply lines are being managed and being rewarded whenever they're in the right state. And so you just watch it. You just watch videos, watch movies, you watch television videos, or documentaries, or whatever you want that we have. And whenever you're not doing what we want, the screen shrinks, and your brain learns not to do those bad habits.
Behind the scenes, we work with your brain, so we never leave the patient alone. And we can see the learning, how the brain is learning new habits. So we work with the software behind the patient.
Yeah, in essence, you can think of it like we almost do like hurdles or like pole vaults. We have these little thresholds depending on what activity you're giving. And if we need to give you a little help, you need to get over it, we'll drop the hurdle, or we'll raise it depending if you need to get be harder if it's too easy. And so that's what we're doing on with the software. But you just want the patients literally got a few electrodes on their head, working a network, and they're just watching a video, and then they don't even know why it's doing what it's doing, but we're rewarding this preconscious rhythm, this physiological rhythm layer that will help normalize those habits. I like to use the analogy of like we're giving the brain the shortcuts. Like the person's always been going on to the airport, taking the highways, and I tell them take these surface streets, go take La Cienega, and they, oh my God, it's half the speed, half the time. And once you give the brain these shortcuts, after it consolidates, it's much more efficient. It will stay in those states from then on. You'll never take the long way once you know the more efficient ways. So that's what we're doing.
During that one session, or do you come back?
You come back. It takes probably we do about 2-hour sessions, and we usually, a normal sort of training period would be about 20 visits.
But
40 hours. Depends what severity.
Yeah, because the condition, I mean, an eating disorder, for example, it's going to take a while. But if it's something that is just for an acute thing, it's going to be fewer sessions.
But usually 40 hours of training. It's just like when you're learning anything. Your brain needs some practice, and you come back every few days to do a little bit more practice to it till it gets consolidated and instilled in its habits.
Very good. Know why you chose Monrovia and how long you've been in Monrovia.
Well, we've been in Monrovia, it's been 3 years now?
3 years now.
Monrovia is the best part of LA. So LA is my second hometown. It's the first hometown when I had a car. I grew up here in the 90s. I didn't even know there was any places after Pasadena because I was in West UCLA. But it's small town LA. It's an amazing place. And, when you're young, in your 20s and 30s, you want the hustle and bustle. I was in West LA and Brentwood and Santa Monica. But when you're older, you want to live more relaxed. You don't want to deal with the traffic as much. And it's amazing. And we found Monrovia because we were going to the theater. And we went down Myrtle, and it was lit up. And I don't even know if it was the holiday, but it was lit up like it was the holidays. And the theater was there. It's just a beautiful town with all these businesses. When we had a chance to move, so let's go to Monrovia because it was such an amazing place. So I call it small town LA. So there's not many places that feel like they're still part of Los Angeles, but you don't have the same worries about the traffic and so forth. There is traffic, but it's not like it is down on West LA, where I, in essence, grew up in my later years.
Besides, it's a very friendly town. Everyone is super friendly, and we love to be part of the community, and we've been doing things here that is amazing how people here are super open and very kind. So we love, for several reasons, we love to be here. And now we are with our business that we love to help people here, and we're doing many things for people here, like offering discounts for Monrovians and different things that we feel like more part of the community here.
Yeah, we did a farmers market. We actually were one of the vendors for a while. So we joined that world, which was nice. Because in a way, farmers market, where we live in the Paragon, it's right outside our door here. And so every Friday, all these people would be out there. Well, after about 6 months or so, we said, let's go ahead and we'll join up. And we went to the hoops, and we went out there for about 5 or 6 weeks. It wasn't our style exactly. We loved doing it, but then now every time it's like Friday and it's hot, I have so much pity on the people because I know what it was like. We had little mini air conditioners because it's so hot, but it's a beautiful feeling of feeling connected, which I never had. Normally, in UCLA, I'm doing research. You're all disconnected from each other. And everyone's doing their own specialty, but farmers market, we just walk up and down talking to the people. Always our neighbors. Our neighbors would always be doing something very different from what we were doing. It was very nice situations to get us to know people. So it was a very good experience. I still love the farmers market. I'm just also glad that we're not out there in the heat.
So much for sharing your business. And I will give the information out in terms of an email.
Hope to be able to meet more members of this fantastic community, Monrovia.
Yeah, thank you for having us, Sari. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us this afternoon with Share Your Business. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.